So, the other day, I stumbled upon a collection of courts videos and footage, specifically court footage of sovereign citizens. It's a very strange. It's kind of hard to explain. Basically, they're whack jobs who believe that the current law in the United States is tyrannical, that it's a dictatorship, and they have a bunch of court tricks they can use to get out if they accuse it, like of being an admiralty court and a bunch of other nonsense. So anyway, I found a bunch of court footage of these people engaging in court, and it doesn't exactly go well for them.
Hello, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir.
Edward's demeanor may seem pleasant, but just a few days earlier, his alleged behavior was anything but. He was charged with making terrorist threats, assault with a deadly weapon, and obstructing peace officers after a domestic disturbance escalated into a 2-day police standoff.
Wait, how do you go from a domestic disturbance to terroristic threats? How do you go home? Like, I understand like how domestic disturbances like occur, right? But how do you come home and get into some argument about casserole, and then it turns into you saying like you're gonna bomb the Empire State Building?
Sir, is this an maritime admiralty law courtroom that we're processing through?
No, it's not.
Edwards considers himself a sovereign citizen who lives as a free man, as they like to say, under common law as established by the founding fathers. Maritime.
Okay, let me be clear. That's complete nonsense. That's not an option you have. You can't just be born into society and then say, I'm gonna play by my own special rules. It's not gonna work for you.
This is not a maritime admiralty law courtroom. I believe so.
No.
Absolutely, it is. All courtrooms in this country are maritime admiralty law courtrooms that process people, aren't they?
No, sir.
That's false information. Well, either way.
He wants to debate the judge. Okay, let me do a quick test to see if this is a maritime admiralty law courtroom. Look under your feet. Are you in the fucking ocean? Did you commit your crime in the ocean? Okay? Or in the middle of Pennsylvania or Ohio? Oh, you're in Pennsylvania, Ohio, or someplace in the Midwest? Then it's not an admiralty law courtroom. Fuck off.
Either way, this courtroom is trying to process me as state property. See this fictitious name statement? Asher Edwards, spelled in all capital letters? This is not my name.
Edwards is referring to another sovereign belief that beginning at birth, one is issued a government identity, meaning one's name is spelled in all capital letters, such as on a birth certificate or social security card, and that doesn't represent one's true or free self.
This name was issued to me without my consent, and you cannot legally process me through this courtroom with this without this name and all.
Wait, so this is like, this is basically just like a gender assigned at birth, but for sovereign citizens. Okay.
Consent. My name is spelled Asher Edwards, first capital, all lowercase. Edwards, first capital, all lowercase. And this is the birth name given to me by my parents, protected by the Constitution of the United States.
Even as Edwards grows louder and more animated, the judge appears to take it all in stride and even allows the defendant to finish his rant.
Therefore, it is illegal for you to process me through this courtroom, so you guys have to figure out something else to do with me.
But this judge is all business, so figuring out something else to do with Edwards is not in his plans.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Will show time is not waived. We'll set this matter for pre-preliminary hearing within the statutory period.
He just completely ignores his rambling, which I guess is the smart thing to do. Don't respond, don't engage. Just ignore his ramblings and let the court proceeding go through.
Period.
And I would like to see the gun. It said I had a gun. I've never had a gun.
As Edwards continues his rant about the alleged gun, the judge reaches for his own weapon of choice, the mute button.
They're lying.
Do not speak while I am speaking, sir.
Edwards continues to plead his case, but to no avail.
Court will set bail in the amount of $72,500.
Damn.
Next matter.
Asher Edwards would later.
Man, that's weird. I thought if you debate broed the judge and just said Admiralty Law Courtroom, they'd have to let you go. Who would have thought? I mean, could you imagine Did this guy legitimately think he had like the contra code for the legal system? That he'd walk in there, just hit a few buttons, and he'd be like, ah, you caught us. He'd just go in there and say, Admiralty Law Courtroom. And then he'd be like, ah, we gotta let him go. He figured out the empire and the scam that we play. And they just let him go.
Later be found guilty of all the charges and sentenced to 1 year in prison. Next, we go to a bond hearing in Broward County.
Mr. Hall has declined the services of the public defender, Your Honor.
Hall is here for driving under the influence and driving with a suspended license.
Here's the thing, these people aren't even like in court for like massive charges, right? Like this is like, these are serious charges, but they're not like facing 20 years. Like that other guy was facing a year, right? And he made terroristic threats. All he did is basically make himself look like a cock to the judge. So there's no way the judge is gonna be lenient towards him. Honestly, if they literally would have said nothing, they'll probably get off better than trying this contra code nonsense.
Mr. Hall, DUI, expired driver's license.
Good morning, Judge.
As soon as the judge attempts to read the charges, Hall begins interrupting.
Sir, I haven't said for the court how I'm appearing today,
Well,
sir.
I'm not asking you yet. Just give me a moment, all right? I need to look at your record.
Turns out Hall is currently out on bond for 2 previous charges of driving with a suspended license. But that's not going to stop him from trying to make his case.
Sir, today I'm appearing as the agent and settler for David Hall.
Okay. Could you get Mr. Hall for me then, sir? Where is he?
I go by that name, sir. My name sounds exactly like the defendant's, and I'm here to settle that matter today.
What?
So are you and David Hall one and the same person?
Wait, I thought he was about to be like, oh, you want to speak to Mr. Hall? Hi, I'm Mr. Hall. He was going to do the split personality thing.
I'm not a person, I'm an individual. David Hall is a person, I am a private individual.
Hall's legalese is unconventional, to say the least, but the judge allows him to continue.
May I say something else for the record, sir?
Go ahead, sir.
I appear here today as the settler, agent, not the person, but the individual. And I don't think I should have, you understand the
So
difference
you're the
between a
settler,
person and an
you're the
individual.
agent, and you're the individual, but you're not the person. Is that correct?
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
I'm going to write that down.
Judge Hurley is unfazed by Hall's attempt at a Jedi mind trick and begins to turn the tables.
Here's what we're going to do. The settler, the agent, the individual, and maybe even the person, David Hall, has been charged with DUI. So today, the court's going to set the settler, the agent, the individual's bond.
In fact, since it's 4 separate entities, you get 4 times the charges. Isn't that disappointing?
And even the person's bond today, $10,000, because the settler, the agent, the individual, and the person continues to drive without a driver's license.
Hall's new bond is $10,000, but because this charge is a violation of his original bond, all versions of David Hall must remain in jail unless he can come up with the cash.
Both cases will cause the settler, the agent, the individual, and even the person, David Hall, not to be able to be released from the Broward County Jail until further notice of the court.
All versions.
So,
May I post bond, sir?
Now it's Judge Hurley's turn to have some fun.
well,
Is there any other-
Are you
may-
asking me as the settler, the agent, the individual, or are you asking me as the person?
Sir, I'm asking as the individual appearing before you today, the
Wait, who are you
opportunity.
speaking on behalf of right now?
Sir, I don't understand that question. I believe that you're trying to confuse me now. I'm not the person, sir.
Okay, when
I am
you
not
see the
the
person,
person.
David Hall, tell him he's not leaving jail either, all right? Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Down the middle. Let's roll.
Meet the man in the fur cap, 21-year-old
Uh-oh.
Robert Peterson.
Shank a man.
He's the person filming this footage as he enters the Kootenai County.
Look, I'm fine with the sovereign citizens as being wackos, but a sovereign citizen in a Ushanka hat feels sacrilege in some way.
Courthouse in Idaho.
That has to go through the x-ray machine if you want to come in this building.
Peterson is a hearing for a minor traffic infraction, riding his bicycle at night without a light. But from the moment he steps inside the door, it's clear this won't be a typical security check.
And I'd just like to know where your warrant is.
I don't need
It's
a warrant.
clearly posted on the entry of the building.
What? Clearly posted that I have to forfeit my right to be free from unreasonable search and seizure?
Coming into this building.
Yeah,
Unreason.
every
It's
person is.
not
I'm
your
a person.
building.
I'm a man. I'm not subject to your jurisdiction, and the court has already confirmed that. I'm here
Your
for one
choice.
purpose. All right,
You can submit or you can leave.
that's fine. I mean,
That's what we're
I'll
trying to
do
get
that,
you to do.
but you will be charged a bill.
Charged
What?
a bill? Rather than escalating the situation, one of the bailiffs decides to play along.
You will be served a bill.
Send me a bill.
I don't have any weapons. I didn't come here to raise a ruckus.
After clearing security, Peterson finds a seat at the rear of the courtroom and continues filming.
So there are no cameras in the court.
Excuse me?
There are no cameras in the court.
Yeah, there is.
No, you have to put that away.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Under what authority?
You have to have a court order from a judge before you can have a camera in the courtroom.
Okay, well, I'm going to capture
No, you can't.
this on video.
Oh,
You gotta turn it
God.
off.
It's for both of our protection.
Well, you have to turn it off.
What do you
thank
mean?
you.
What are they gonna do to you?
Enter bailiff number 2.
Shut the camera off now.
No, thank you. I do not consent to you touching me or seizing my property, so you need to
Shut
back
the
up.
camera off now.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
holding you accountable because you're about to overstep your bounds.
The bailiffs then decide to clear the courtroom and question Peterson directly.
What's your first and last name?
Wait, they cleared the courtroom for this? Oh my God.
Have a last name?
You don't have a last name?
No.
What's your first name?
I don't have a first name either. I've got a name. My name is Robert. You can call me Robert.
As you can see, this bailiff keeps his sense of humor about the situation.
What are you? Are you human?
I'm a man.
You're human?
I'm a man, yes.
Can I see your Idaho state license?
No, I don't have one.
You don't have one?
My person does, but I don't.
With the situation seemingly diffused,
Come on in, folks.
the bailiffs usher everyone back into the courtroom. Well, except for one person.
Okay,
Excuse me.
Camera.
Excuse me. You're blocking my freedom of movement.
I am.
Blocking
All
his
right,
freedom
well,
of movement.
Pete
It's
Barnes.
not your building.
You just admitted to me that you're violating my rights.
No, I'm not. You can't come in with the camera.
Well, you're violating my rights.
Well, dude, just leave. If you really are that just determined today to have like a filming session, leave.
And this is also
Clear
freedom
those
of the
people out
press.
from behind you.
This is also freedom of the press. I mean, I don't know what the hell law book you're reading, man, but it doesn't apply to me. Why are you worried about cameras? Because you want to do something
Against the
wrong?
rules.
Because you want to do something wrong? Because if it's against the rules, that means it's because somebody intends on wronging somebody else. Because they're afraid of being held accountable. Pete Barnes.
It's a nice speech, but you're still not coming in.
Well, please step aside. I'm going in.
No, you're not going in.
Don't touch me.
You're not going in,
Dude,
sir.
stop. Either go. Oh no. Oh, I know what that is. That's a taser.
Records show that you just battered me,
Step back.
and you're using.
Step back.
After Peterson refuses to step back, Chief Bailiff Pete Barnes fires his taser.
And you're using.
Why? Over what?
Please. I'm not doing anything wrong. Hey, you know what? You guys are really overstepping your bounds right now.
Put the cuffs on him.
Put the cuffs on. What are you arresting me for?
The answer to that question? Peterson's charged with 3 counts of battery and 1 count of contempt of court. He would later enter an Alford plea, meaning
Oh, that's weird. Look at him. He doesn't have a camera on him. I wonder why.
he didn't admit to committing a crime, but acknowledged there was likely enough evidence to convict him. Jail time was waived as part of the plea deal, and he was ordered to pay a fine for his original charge of riding a bike at night without a light.
Keisha Johnson.
Now to Louisville, Kentucky, and the Jefferson County District Court. An arraignment hearing is underway for 18-year-old Keisha Johnson, who's charged with possession of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, and tampering with physical evidence.
Okay, so except for that last charge, this feels like something. If you want to ask my opinion about the matter, nobody should be in prison for a nonviolent drug charge. I hope this person gets off basically without a hitch. And so let's hope this person does everything necessary to get them out of the situation.
Come on up here, ma'am.
I would like to stand here.
When called upon, Johnson decides to address the judge, Sean Delahanty,
Why?
from the back of the court.
No, you stand at this podium.
Awesome. Could you tell me what...
Oh, man, you have to come up here. We can't record
What
your
laws
back.
you guys operating under?
Under what laws? Like the American ones?
The laws are the
State. There's state law, there's county law, there's city law, there's federal law. I mean, there's a lot of laws.
state of Kentucky.
Oh, yes. As in, like, amity law, common law, statutory?
Come up here and stand at this podium. I have to get you on the record so that we can see you with your argument.
Okay, well,
This judge is being very nice right now. I would already be angry at this point.
on the record, I reserve my right before crossing this bench.
Johnson's refusing to cooperate because she's part of a sovereign citizens movement, which rejects institutions and believe they aren't bound by the country's laws.
Well, Mr. Johnson, I really don't want to create some big...
I would be like, I'd be like, oh, you like standing? How about standing in the county jail? Contempt of court. Goodbye. I would already be done. This is why I shouldn't be a judge.
Scene. Hang on a second. I do not want to lock you up, but I may very well have to. I need for you to come up here and stand at this podium. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. You have to come up here and stand at this podium.
Just walk to the podium.
As the bizarre scene
Say your nonsensical nonsense at the podium.
plays out, there's another disruption in the back of the courtroom when a bailiff tells 36-year-old Jenna Vondran to stop filming on her cell phone.
Show me the law. Show me the law.
In Kentucky, judges are given broad discretion on allowing filming in their courtrooms.
This is my property. Show me the law.
All right.
Show me the law.
Chris?
Show me the law.
Chris?
Show me the law.
Go ahead and lock her up. Go ahead and take her into custody.
Watch as the judge looks down and presses his panic button to summon additional deputies to the courtroom.
What are you doing? You have no right.
You sit over there. Nothing wrong.
You have no right.
Could you imagine, like, you're just actively breaking the law and they're like, you have to show it to me before you can enact it. Like, oh man, that woman's actively punching that man in the mall, but I don't got the law on paper in my pocket. I guess I can't do anything. What do you mean, show me the law? How is that supposed to work?
No right for that.
Yeah, I'm not finished with her yet.
Why is she so distraught at this? Like, you knew what was gonna happen. How can you be so angry and so surprised? You knew what was gonna happen.
All right.
After a quick reset, the original defense.
Thank goodness she walks up to the podium. Okay, so we've gotten over the first hurdle after somebody was arrested.
Keisha Johnson finally comes forward to the podium.
You're charged with possession of marijuana, tampering with physical evidence, and possession of
crime
paraphernalia.
I don't understand any of that.
All right. Well, you're charged with illegally possessing marijuana.
Yes, I can.
You are.
While the judge
She's still going.
is back with Johnson, deputies in the hallway are still trying to get control of Vondran, the woman with the cell
Still
phone.
going.
I don't understand any of those charges.
Well, there's not a whole lot more.
What
There's
is
not a
going
whole lot
on?
more I can do to try to explain to you.
When trying to play clueless doesn't work, Johnson goes back on the offensive.
Let's start here. Can you guys prove jurisdiction? Prove jurisdiction, because I come in under common law. Prove your jurisdiction, that you have jurisdiction over me. Prove jurisdiction. A court cannot proceed.
The jurisdiction would be the state of Kentucky, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm not a legal expert, but it's just, the guy said it was state of Kentucky earlier, right?
Until you guys prove jurisdiction. Show me your jurisdiction. Show me your law.
All right. There are all of our laws are codified in the Kentucky Revised Statute.
Show
Yeah, exactly.
me jurisdiction. Show me the law.
Hey, here you go.
Okay, that's
Oh damn, he actually had it written down. He was like, "Here, you want to look at it? It's right here."
This doesn't prove that you have jurisdiction.
Okay.
Wait, he just said Kentucky. He actually showed you the law.
So what else? Now, there's a simple way for me to prove jurisdiction to you. I'm gonna ask the deputy to go ahead and take you into custody.
Oh damn, that is certainly a way to. Oh, you want to see my jurisdiction? Takes him away.
What charges? Under what charges?
You are disrupting my court.
Oh, snap.
We're going to pass her case to tomorrow.
Here goes the podium.
It's wrong. Under common law, under the United States Constitution. And if they keep doing this, then let us...
Keisha Johnson's arrested and charged with contempt of court. Fast forward to the next day, and she's about to face a new judge.
Oh, no.
Keisha Johnson?
Come on. Okay, so now she's got the marijuana charge, tampering with evidence. There was another charge. I forgot what that charge is. Now it's contempt in court on top of all of that, and she's about to pull some other nonsense, isn't she?
56.
This time, Johnson's represented by an attorney.
I don't know how familiar you are with this, but this case...
Familiar. Podium flipper.
Okay.
I've heard a little bit about it from
Okay.
yesterday. All right, so this is Miss Johnson. We'll note that she's in custody today. She's brought over and present.
And she'd like to make a statement to the court.
I had time to think about it, and I believe and I've learned that I need to represent myself in a respectable manner while in front of a judge.
Okay, so obviously that behavior will not be tolerated. That's why you ended up where you are.
Keisha Johnson's found guilty.
Oh, well, there you go. Progress.
Of contempt of court and is released from jail after serving 1 day. On her original charges, 2 were dropped, but she's found guilty of possession of marijuana, fined $185.
Hey, she got off pretty light. She got off pretty light, all things considered. All things considered, she did get off light. So it was tampering with evidence, another charge of marijuana possession, and then contempt of court after flipping a podium. And out of all of it, she spent 1 day in jail and a $185 fine. Like that is fun. That is amazing. That is amazingly light. Good for her.
As for Jenna Vondran, who was arrested after filming in the courtroom,
All right. Go ahead and lock her up.
she's found guilty of disorderly conduct and serves 1 day in jail.
Thanks for being a fan.
Jeez. Okay.